All right, I'm back for part 2. Hoping I can get everything into the camera here. So here are the 4 black stones that were in the previous video. I've gone ahead and painted it with Eileen's Tack-It over and over. It's repositionable adhesive, temporary hold for appliques, trims, ribbons, and more. And the first time I used this full strength, and then I saw a video that was using the Tack-It method on tumblers, or like those, the big mugs that you put your coffee and whatever in, make it all fancy. And that person actually diluted it 1-to-1, so 50%. So I poured some in here along with some water, and I just keep it here for easy access. It keeps, it holds, it hasn't gone bad, but just make sure to shake it up so that it mixes in case you see it separating. And let me show you what that looks like. So full strength out the bottle, it looks like this. Oh. It looks like that. So when you dilute it with water, it looks more like this. And let me show you. Because you don't need a whole lot of it for the powder to stick. It just takes the slightest amount. I don't know if you can see the difference there. And so let me just blend this. Like I say, you don't need a lot, because the thicker it is, the longer it's going to take to dry. And it's going to dry tacky. I'm just going to stick that over there for now. I'm brushing the water. If you use a brush, be sure to wash or rinse it out immediately, or stick it in some water, because once it sets, it's going to be really hard to clean out. So I don't invest in expensive brushes for this type of work. So, best practice to share right there. Okay, now, where was I? Oh, yes. So these have been painted already, or coated with the Tack-It. And by tacky, that's what I mean. You can still have a little bit of stick there, but it's not super strong. And the best way I can explain it is if you have a Post-it note. It's repositionable adhesive on the back. You stick it down, pull it up, stick it somewhere else, and after a while it weakens, but it's never a really strong bond. And that's how the powder sticks to the areas covered in Tack-It rather than the areas not covered in Tack-It. So to demonstrate, here is Meridian, I believe, from solarcolordust.com. And you can use your finger. And I'm going to use an applicator for this video just so you see. And plus it'll help me clean up some of this dust here from being jostled around. So I just get on the applicator, and if you see how it sticks to the area with the glue more so than the area that's just, regular paper. So that's the same principle that works for these stones or tumblers or whatever you might be using the dust on. Your nails, what have you. So, yep, that's pretty much what we're going to do. Now, since I have this open, let's go ahead and paint. It doesn't take a whole lot of dust. I'm just taking off the lid there. Let's go ahead and color this one. And as you can see with this powder and this applicator, I'm adding the powder to the tacky surface and kind of burnishing it at the same time. If you don't feel the stickiness or the pull with the applicator, then you know it's covered. Because it'll be smooth. Oops, sorry. It'll be smooth and it won't grab any further once it's all covered up. All right, I'm really impressed with these Solar Color Dust powders. Love it. That's Meridian. It's a gold, green, bluish color. Let's put that to the side and cover it up. Make sure the lid's on nice and tight. Any excess. So for this one, let's try a Perfect Pearls, and maybe this purple one. I have tried Perfect Pearls for this type of application before, but I used Mod Podge. And I wasn't as successful with Mod Podge. I know some crafters prefer it for a lot of things, but Mod Podge dries you know, smooth to the touch. It's all messy. And so if you don't catch it just right, while there's just a little bit of moisture still left in it, then it won't really adhere as well, because it'll just be like a smooth, dry surface. So this is Perfect Pearls. All right, got some dust on there. Okay. And unlike the chameleon powders, Perfect Pearls is pretty much just a single shimmery hue. So this is just, you know, shimmery purple. So you're not going to get the same, you know, shifting of colors for this with this product. But if this is the look you're going for, it would work very well. And there's nothing wrong with it just being a single hue, because I found that when trying to pick top coat or dot colors for the stones I had painted with the color shift powder, you know, trying to find something that would work for, you know, all the variations in tone proved to be a little bit challenging, but I was overthinking it, and I'll get over it. But later for that. So this is these are the Perfect Pearls. Not as, you know, again, I won't say that it's not as sparkly, as bright as, you know, it's a different type of product, but it does give a certain effect. So if that's what you want, go for it. It'll work. Okay. Now, I have not played with these Tack-It powders before. I think I called them nail art powders, but I think they're probably actually more for resin work. Like, we can coat the inside of the mold and then pour the resin in, and then when you retrieve it, it'll have that color on the outside. Or if you mix it with your resin, then you'll have, you know, that color payout in the final product. So to pick a color, let's try this one. Does this one have a name? Just purple, red, blue, green. All right, I'm here for it. Let's try it. Pretty. Oh, that's nice. I say very similar to the Chameleon or the Chromex powder from solarcolordust.com. I don't know the exact formulation of either product. The color, granted this is a different color scheme, the color payout, I would, as far as like shimmer value, I think is very similar. I think I prefer how the Chrome X powder goes on to the product. It's a little smoother in the application, but very similar in output, I would say. Again, this is a different color scheme, but shimmer wise, I would say very, very similar. And actually, these powders tend to have a rating of like the size of the glitter that's inside of the powder, and I don't know what they are. I'll have to look that up and post it so to have a comparison. Because if you look, I can see more definite like starlight sparkles in this type of powder than I do in the Chromex from Solar Color Dust, and that might be by design the way for this type of powder. But either way, both very pretty. I like it. I like it. And, oh, for giggles, I thought I would try what eyeshadow would look like. I don't remember where this palette came from. It might have been a free gift when I bought something else. But there are some shimmery tones in here, so I wanted to see what that would look like. So I have this extra stone here, and I think this reddish one. Let's see how that looks. It goes on very smooth. Since it's designed for the face, I imagine that some of the additives are for glideability across the skin. Color payout, I would say similar to Perfect Pearls, but not as, this is maybe a little, not as opaque as the Perfect Pearls. And again, the eyeshadow designed for, you know, human skin and for blending, so that could be by design, but in a pinch, if you wanted to use your eyeshadow in something artsy, you definitely could. So there's that. Okay. So eyeshadow, Tack-It, solar color dust, and then Perfect Pearls. All right, interesting. Now, I have these in white as well. I painted over them in a couple coats of white so we could see what the powder looked like against them. But I forgot to put Tack-It on it. So that's going to have to be another video. Until then, I hope this has been informational. Enjoy your day. Bye.